What is up, guys? Today we will be taking a look into battlefields. There are three basic types of battlefields: the Battle of Gaugamela, the Battle of Constantinople, and the Battle of Chalons. Basically, all of them have one major rule. Healing doesn't cost resources, you can't lose power, and there is no plundering of resources. Today's episode will be mainly focusing on the Battle of Constantinople, which is held weekly. Once your server is 60 days old, you can apply for a time slot. There are many different options which your team has to agree on. Based on your time slot, an enemy alliance will be assigned to you, and you will join a 2-hour-long battlefield. There are many different ways to earn points, with the first one being buildings. There are many different types of buildings, with the most important one, the city of Constantinople, right in the middle of the battlefield, granting you 80 scores for every minute that you are conquering it. Generally, there is only one troop needed to hold a building. There are also 8 crystal mines across the map, with each minute of holding one granting you 16 additional scores. There is also 6 portals, with every minute conquering it granting 16 points, as well as a port for every 30 seconds that you're conquering it. This is one major part of the battlefield. There's only a limited amount of ports, meaning that if your alliance has used up their ports, there will be no way of teleporting your city. There's also one hospital, which gets you another 16 scores for every minute of conquering and grants your alliance a 60% healing speed when you're conquering it. Additionally, there are 2 blessing towers, which get another 16 scores for every minute conquered, and an additional 20% attack and defense buff for the entire alliance. There's also a Knight Hall, which gets you 32 coins for every minute conquering, and sends out a knight's army for every 3 minutes that you conquer it. Those knights' armies will go from the Knight Hall towards every single enemy city, which means that you will be able to know the locations. Finally, there's also one rally hall, which gets you another 16 scores for every minute conquering it, as well as a 15% increase of rally capacity for the entire alliance. Furthermore, you can get scores for killing enemy troops. Those, however, differ for the level of the enemy's troops. For example, 1 million kills of enemy tier 1s will get you 2.2 scores. However, 1 million T12s of the enemy will get you 100 scores. An additional feature are war supplies. Those can spawn 4 times, and they offer additional battlefield buffs. There are 13 possible buffs that can occur, however, there will only be 3 to choose from. The war supplies will send out one march towards a crystal mine, and whoever is occupying the crystal mine at the point of arrival will be able to choose one buff. Generally, battlefields are played with 2 teams. You will get one team that is responsible for holding the buildings and one team that is doing the fighting. The most important buildings are the portals, as they grant your team additional ports. It's generally a good idea to keep your troops ghosted at all times, because you will probably be an easy target. Keep in mind that even with just 5 troops, you can have a huge impact by holding 5 buildings. And one major tip: don't waste your team's ports. If you want to take a building, you don't have to necessarily port next to it. You can send out a march and speed it up, instead of wasting your team's possibility to move around the map. Finally, we can take a look at the rewards. They differ for whether your team has become victorious or has lost. For example, 1800 personal scores will get you 540 badges, gem, resource, speed up and gold chests, as well as runestones, dragon fragments and tactic scrolls. If you lose, on the other hand, an 1800 and above personal score will only get you 430 badges, just 20 of each of the Constantinople chests, as well as a different amount for runestone chests, dragon fragments and tactic scrolls. The most important attribute of Constantinople rankings, however, are the season rankings. Those, however, are only for the top 100 placing players. Looking into your wonder and going to glory, you can also find the invincible hero, which states that a top 200 placing in the Constantinople rankings of your continent will grant you the opportunity to upgrade your wonder to level 3, as well as unlock those red rings. Each level of the wonder will enable you to unlock the next Dragon Cliff level. If you are able to rank top 200 and unlock the wonder 3, you can get the Sacred Dragon Nidhogg. I hope that you were able to get a brief overview, and I will see you guys again very soon.